Hello everyone, thank you so much for joining me again. This is Angela Gennari and this is episode number 1 in our YouTube series. So the series is really just meant to be something I publish every Monday and just kind of something to get you started for the week, just something to think about, little tips, perhaps a rant, maybe venting, we don't know, but hopefully it brings value to you and it's a little bit motivational. So I'm gonna get started today because it is January 2020 and I'm gonna talk about something that I wrote at the end of 2019. So it was something called the top 10 things I learned this decade. So the last decade for me was pretty trying. There were a lot of ups and downs. There were some great things that happened, but there are also some very challenging things that happened. And I learned a lot. So I think that anytime you're presented with challenges or triumphs, the greatest thing that can happen out of that is that you learn. And I certainly did. So I wrote down the top 10 things that I learned last decade, and I wanted to share it with you because hopefully it will be of some value to you as well. So number 1, this was a tough one for me. It is not everyone you lose is a loss. It was really challenging in the last decade because I've lost some people that I thought were going to be in my life for a long time and they weren't, and I had to just be okay with that. I think that you teach people how to treat you, and when you are, treating someone well, or you're trying to be in their lives and they're just, making their way out of your life, it's okay. You have to learn to let them go because you have to let people know that your time is valuable, that your efforts should be appreciated. And if somebody doesn't give that back to you, they're not meant to be in your life. And if they're trying to exit, help them open the door. So, I'm not saying that you should eliminate anyone out of your life based on some little misunderstanding, but if there's no real reason that somebody is kind of moving their way out of your life, then maybe it's a higher power or a greater good. So I pray frequently for people to be taken out of my life that are not for me. And so sometimes, every once in a while, you'll have somebody that for one reason or another isn't responding to you or isn't coming around anymore. And you have to just know that that's hopefully God at work, just saying this person wasn't meant to be there. So bye, thank you for playing, but have a good day. So learn to let them go, it's okay. Number 2, say yes to new opportunities and figure it out. This has been my business philosophy for my entire career, and I will tell you that at least 90% of the time it has worked out really well for me. So you are smarter than you think you are more creative than you think you are, and I think that you have the ability to figure things out when you're put under pressure. I know I do, and I can tell you that even when I was scared, even when I felt like this was beyond my ability, I found a way, and you will too. So when there's a new opportunity and you're excited about it but scared, go for it. You just never know, and you don't want that opportunity to turn into something that you'll regret not going after later. So you say yes and figure it out. Number 3, kids are resilient. Kids are so incredibly resilient, and we have to let them make mistakes. You have to let them fall down. You have to let them get hurt. And I know as a parent, it's the hardest thing in the whole world. I have a 13-year-old son. I love him so much, and it just crushes me when his feelings are hurt. And Mama Bear wants to come out, and Mama Bear wants to go fix everything, but you just cannot do it. You have to let them feel the hurt, because I can tell you that when kids make mistakes and they learn from them early, those mistakes are a lot cheaper than when they have to make those mistakes later because they never learned the lesson. I know of a lot of adults, especially in my generation, who helicopter parent, and their kids become very incapable adults because the adults can't make decisions and they can't rationalize things, and they have no idea what consequences are, and they've never had to live up to anyone's expectations because they've always been rescued. So don't do that to your kids. You're crippling them for life. It's not realistic to live life that way, and it's not fair to employers to expect the employer to raise your kids. So let kids fail, let kids make mistakes, be there for them, to hold them, to comfort them, but let them deal with their own consequences. It's okay, and they will be fine, and they will be better for it. Number 4, make time for the important people in your life. I'm only doing one take of this, so when I mess up, I've just got to deal with it. So Make time for the important people in your life. It is really important to show people that you love them. Put your phone down, spend time with those people that are right in front of you. Your kids need you, your spouse needs you more than Facebook does, more than Instagram does, more than Twitter does, and even more than YouTube does. So please do, show the people around you that you really appreciate them, engage with them, make them, make them happy by doing little things for them that aren't self-involved, that you're not looking for some sort of reward for. Just do it out of the goodness of your heart. Show them how much you care about them, and they will appreciate it so much. Number 5, celebrate your wins and learn from your losses. And when you do win, and you will, please, please, please share the glory with those who helped you get there, because no one achieves anything significant in their life without many, many people helping them. And then when you lose gracefully. Don't get ugly about it. You don't have to torture anyone. You don't have to punish anyone. Lose gracefully and quickly and move on. Number 6, not everyone is going to like you and agree with you. Deal with it, let them have their opinion, and focus on those who care about you. There are so many haters in our world, and I don't understand it. I think they have a voice because social media gives them a voice, and bullying in school has become exponentially worse as a result. So all of those people that have an insignificant role in your life, let that be insignificant. It's okay. They don't have to have a place in your heart and in your mind. If they want to hate on you, remember, when people are being negative and people are saying bad things, it's because of something within them, not within you. Please remember that people are hateful because of what they're dealing with inside, nothing about what you've done. So please do keep that in mind. Don't let anyone get to you that is being hateful and nasty and ugly just because they really have a lot of demons within themselves that they're trying to deal with. Number 7, get your tribe. My tribe is everything. I love them so much, and they have brought me out of the deepest gutters and sorrows and worst places in my life, and I don't know where I would be without them. So there were so many times where I just felt like the whole world was collapsing around me and the world was ending, and I just didn't know if I'd get through it, and they reminded me of who I was, they reminded me of what the end goal was, and they told me I was stronger than I thought, and they were absolutely right. And I got through it, and thank God for those people in my life. So get your tribe and let them be your comfort zone. Let them be your shoulder to cry on. Be transparent with them, be honest with them, and let them know where you are in life, because they can help you. Number 8, you can't make powerful moves from a weak foundation. This is important because so many people want to get to the end result. They want to get to the prize. They want to get to the goal, but they're forgetting that foundation that you're building is so incredibly important. You can't decorate a house before you've poured the concrete. You can't plant a tree and expect it to automatically be, blooming with all these gorgeous flowers and fruits. Please make sure that you are doing what you need to do to create the foundation and to make it solid before you move on to the next phase. If you don't, you're cheating yourself out of the longevity of whatever it is you're seeking. You're also cheating yourself out of the substance and out of the quality. Number 9, live a faith-based life and not a fear-based life. Fear causes us to stay in our comfort zone, and we will never reach our greatest potential in our comfort zone. Our comfort zone is meant to keep us comfortable, but that's not where we grow. We grow in that place outside of our comfort zone that allows us to thrive and allows us to take chances and take risks. And there's something out of there, that little halo around our comfort zone, that's called fear. And you have to break through that fear so that you can get out to the other side, and it will be so much better, and you will learn so much about yourself. But you have to break through the fear. You have to break through all that and have faith that things are going to work out, and they probably will. And if they don't, they weren't supposed to, so that's okay too. And number 10, when all else fails, trust God. This is the hardest one, because we live in a free will society, and so we feel like we want to control every aspect of what we're doing. And the problem is when we're controlling it, then God's not in control. And when He's not in control, things aren't going the way they're supposed to go. So take yourself out of the equation. If things don't seem to be working, stop for a moment, think about what you're doing, and then maybe remove yourself from the equation. Stop trying, stop forcing something to happen that just isn't working the way you think it should. Because sometimes just stopping our efforts and letting go and praying and saying, you know what, I'm just gonna let this go and see what happens, is the best thing we can do, because that's when God takes over, and that's when things start really moving forward. And if it's not supposed to be, it won't be, and that's okay, because now you can concentrate your efforts somewhere else. So that's it, top 10 things, and I hope it was valuable to you. I hope you learned something. It was nerve-wracking for me again, so I'm trying to get through this. This is my fear-based this is my fear area, and I'm trying to get through it. So thank you so much for bearing with me, and I will see you next week. Have a great week.